And here we have another throwback review. We have the Transformers Prime Robots in Disguise Deluxe Class Vehicon. I think I reviewed this figure years ago, ages ago, way back in 2011. More than a decade ago, about 13 years ago. And I sold off a lot of my old Transformers and Transformers Prime figures included. And this was one of the figures that I really, really loved. And, you know, one of the biggest mistakes I made was just to sell everything as a set, complete set. You know, some of the figures were, I loved them 100%. Let's get this bad boy out of the box. And here is the Vehicon out of packaging. And this is the Decepticon grunt on the show. The foot soldiers and infantry that Megatron and Starscream had on the show, if you remember the show. And to this day, this is still one of the best, if not the best figure in the entire Transformers Prime line. I still remember how great it is, and it still looks amazing to this day. A third-party company, APC Toys, is trying to bring back these figures, trying to put their own spin on them, trying to improve bits and pieces of them, trying to make them better. But I don't know. I personally think the originals are still better, but we'll have to wait and see till I get those APC Toys. Let's take a closer look at the details of this Transformers Prime Vehicon. Head to toe, the figure stands at about 14 centimeters tall, or about 5.5 inches tall. For comparisons, here he is with his contemporary. We've got the Decepticon, very stoic, very quiet intelligence, and resident badass. Soundwave, Deluxe Class Soundwave from the same toy line. And again, from the same toy line, we've got the first edition versions of the Transformers Prime Voyager class, Optimus Prime, as well as Deluxe Class RC. And finally, we have the more modern contemporary figures from the Legacy United line. We've got Deluxe Class, Cyberverse Universe, Windblade. And from the War for Cybertron Trilogy toy line, we've got Earthrise, Voyager Class, Starscream. It's a bit uncanny that I feel, this is just me, that he kind of fits in, at least in scale and aesthetic, with these two other figures. I don't know, that's just me. What do you guys think? Now, the figure comes with one accessory, his blaster, which on the show, his arm just transformed into this. It's unpainted, sadly, even though the box art has a little bit of pink, Energon pink painted on it on the tip and right here, but nothing. Officially, you can mount it on his right forearm. You just snap it on top of the arm, and it feels like it sort of transformed into his gun. Or you can actually have him hold it if you wish. That also works, but not as accurate to the show. But what I would like to do is actually mount it on his left hand or left forearm. You fold the fist backwards and you make him hold it invertedly. And to me, this looks actually the best. It looks like it just came out of his forearm. It's on his left. It doesn't work quite as well on the right, but I'm pretty okay with it. I think this is how I'm going to keep him. Now, the figure has some really, really cool paint apps. Look at that amazing, gorgeous head sculpt with nice silver paint apps. You've got some matte navy blue finish right here on his chest, silver paint underneath that clear plastic. You've got some paint highlights here and there in the feet, and he's got this really, really nice glossy black plastic. And I don't even have to bring out my testing tool, but just for the sake of it, testing it, you can hear how solid that plastic is. And back in the day, Hasbro wasn't cutting corners. They were really giving us our money's worth. And I think, if I recall, these things sold for what, $14, $12? It was impossible to find them when they first came out because people were army building them. And I think they went on clearance after a year or so to about, what, $7 or $5? Now, it's now impossible to get these because they've shot up. If you can get one in mint in box or mint on card, you have to pay like something like, what, $30 to get one. That's why a lot of people are going for the APC Toys third-party version of these figures. But I have an issue with the plastic quality of those toys. They're kind of sharp, they're kind of light. They're okay. But I honestly, I do prefer the old original versions. Now, articulation for the figure, he's got a ball jointed neck. Unfortunately, he doesn't have any torso articulation. No waist swivel, no ab crunch, or nothing like that. That's the only thing that's keeping me from giving this figure a perfect score, which I'll give you a final rating later, but that's probably the only limitation this figure has. Shoulders are on ball joints. There's a little bit of a hinge right here because of transformation. You got a biceps swivel. Oh, the neck can go up and down because of transformation. You got a hinge right here, ball jointed elbow. Wrists are on hinges because of transformation. You've got a ball jointed hip. You got a thigh swivel, hinge knees. Toes can move up and down because of transformation. No rocker tilts during this time. This figure was released. The stamp on him says 2012. So 2012, but the packaging says 2011. And I think he was released 2012 because they released the first edition first in 2011. So this is like a 12-year-old figure. And to this day, it holds up. Very, very pleased with it. I'm so glad I got him again. And I did pay something like $14 for him again. So I thought that was pretty good deal. So let's transform this guy. First off, remove the weapon, set it off to the side. You want to go ahead and fold up the fists. Let's do the arms first, because they're the tricky bit. So what you want to do is you want to move this panel all the way up here to the shoulders. And to do so, you have to navigate and negotiate this elbow joint. So to do so, rotate, bend up, and then rotate that ball joint so it lines up. Okay? Now the legs. Legs again, this is where the magic of their engineering really happens. And it's the entire top part of the car compressed onto the legs. So what you want to do is you want to lift these panels up like that, the shins, unfold, unfurl these pieces right here. See how much they compressed just inside those legs. And as you can see right here, that'll form the top part of the car. It's made of lots of clear plastic, so do be very, very careful. You don't want to shatter them. And you know, to this day, it's a 12-year-old figure. The clear plastic seems to hold up, except for this bit right here. This is kind of tough. I had a hard time splitting it up, but just do be careful when you're transforming this bit right here. Just take your time, be patient, because you don't want it to break, because if you break those tabs, it's all over. You want to go ahead and fold, just rotate these fenders and the wheel, and you kind of want to just fold it up like this and fold it up like that. Okay, now this bit right here, the back part, is going to form the rear bumper. So what you want to do is you want to fold it up and just compress, and it's sort of like an automatic transformation happening there, where the head just kind of slides down. And then what you want to do is you want to just fold that hinge right there, the shoulder hinge, so that the side panels of the arms, they line up with the feet or the legs, the fender, and then just tab them in. Okay, you want to go ahead and fold the feet like that and compress the shins. And then all that's left is really to fold the top part of the car over everything else. And then these pegs right here, they're gonna slot onto those peg holes right there. So you gotta be careful, make sure they're lined up properly. You don't want them snapping out or breaking. And then just tab them in. And then these, I guess the spoiler, I guess they'll stay up like that, or you can make them stay down like that. Kind of gives you a Batmobile vibe. That's what I'm getting with this alt mode. It's a muscle car. Does it look like a Chrysler? It looks great. It rolls amazingly well despite having mushroom pegs. The gun can peg right here if you want to, but we're gonna not do that for now, just so you can appreciate how cool this alt mode is. There's enough pink Energon paint highlights here and there. Wish they could have added a little bit more, but it would ruin the whole aesthetic of the car. You can appreciate and you can literally see how glossy that black high gloss finish. It's not super high gloss, but Very, very glossy premium plastic. Very cool. Now for some comparisons, here are a bunch of deluxe class figures. This is deluxe class animated Bumblebee. See how huge this figure is. And this is Legacy United deluxe class Bumblebee. You see the progression of deluxe class figures over the years. No words to describe. They're all deluxe class figures. Again, from animated, we've got deluxe class Prowl. And this is a contemporary of this figure. Robots in Disguise version, not the first edition. Deluxe class RC. So obviously not in scale, but you can see he kind of looks like a small deluxe class, but I think he's just about right, like a medium-sized deluxe class figure. And so some final thoughts on this Transformers Prime Vehicon. You know, my good buddy Christian once told me that this figure, to this day, is still one of the best Transformers mold that Hasbro and Takara Tomy has ever produced. You know what? I agree with him. Just well engineered. Bot mode and alt mode look great. They're very show accurate. And it's amazing how they managed to compress everything to make him this thin, lanky foot soldier and then transform him into this muscle car. I thought that was a very, very, very good design. The figure is going to get a 9.5 out of 10. I actually want to give it a 10, but that lack of torso articulation, which is really not an impossible thing to do. They could have done a slight cut by the pelvis and the hips. They could have easily done that. It would not affect transformation. They didn't do it. So 9.5, maybe 9.8 out of 10. Let me know what you guys think of this Transformers Prime Robots in Disguise Deluxe Class Vehicon. Hit that notification bell so you never miss out on any of my latest video reviews. And if it's your first time here, please subscribe. Thanks for watching.